Topic was blanketing. I had a question about blanketing. It's a great question. I've discussed it before, so anybody that's kind of interested in that, we don't blanket here, obviously. You guys, every time we're on Horsey Check, you don't see horses in blankets. I don't even think we have enough blankets for all the horses we have here. But we have a few. And I'm not against blanketing, but the science says no. Horses don't need blankets. They're very large animals. Unlike, say, birds that regularly freeze in the winter, horses and cows and llamas and stuff like that, I mean, you don't see any cows out there with blankets on, do you? The horses do, because they're pets. They're very large animals. They put off a lot of heat. It is unusual, unless the environment is not set up to succeed for them to stay warm, which usually means having enough food to keep the furnace running, keep them making heat, or they don't have shelter. Even in these open shelters, if I go in there, it'll be warmer just in here than it will be out here. It's a little, you can feel it. And in some cases, you can be 2 or 3 feet away from a horse and the heat radiates off of them. They puff up for a reason. It's called piloerection. Their hair, just like ours, stands up to make an air gap. That air gap insulates the inside from the outside air from the inside, and they can stay quite warm. So it really is dependent on environment. Blanketing is a big topic. It's hard to cover everything. Generally, we don't blanket. Generally, we don't feel like we need to blanket. We also are not in super wintry conditions. This is the Pacific Northwest. It's mostly warm. If it gets down to -10, it's weird. How did it get so cold? That's so strange. You know, I'm not against it though. If somebody says they want to blanket their horse, they feel better about it, then so be it. But horses will sweat. They will get very uncomfortable in warmer weather. So it's something to consider. A lot of people don't have the time to take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, so they just leave it on. You get rain scald, blanket sores. They can actually get colder if it stays wet, gets wet, stays wet, stays heavy on top of them, and they don't have that insulation barrier. So there's a lot of downsides too to blanketing, unless it's very, very diligent. Some of the more sicker or older horses can use a little bit of extra help, and a nice puffy jacket is very helpful. So, not against it, but for the most part, no, they don't bother blanketing. They've been living like this for a long time. And in fact, Macaroni, who's up that way, he was blanketed rather regularly in the winter with his, right there, in the winter, he had rain scald, chronic rain scald, when we got him. So we cleaned him up, never blanketed him again, and he's never had rain scald again. Look, hi, you're done eating? Come back for scratches? Player's choice. It's up to you. It's your horse. You get to do what you want. Science says that blanketing isn't required for horses for the most part, most circumstances, most environments. Ruli's not my horse. It's not my choice to blanket her or not. Her owner has asked to have her blanketed. She feels it's better for her, and that's something that we respect. As a boarding facility, it's very important to be respectful. I have asked what the circumstance, can I take it off, and at what, so I keep on top of that, and we do take care of that. We make sure it's on and off, and she gets dried out and all that kind of thing. So Ruli's, I guess I could say Ruli's kind of lucky in that regard. She does get blanketed, but she's well managed for the blanketing. Now that's her owner's request, who loves her very much, takes very good care of her. So yeah, so that's blanketing in a nutshell. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer them.